Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Lara May, a clinical pharmacist specializing in functional medicine, as well as a certified yoga teacher and Reiki master. I run a truly integrative health coaching practice encompassing functional medicine lab testing, yoga and meditation, and a sprinkling of Reiki energy medicine. Join me here on Light Body Radio to break through your health plateau and come into alignment with your natural vitality. Hello and welcome to Light Body Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Lara May, and today I have with me Tom Paladino. He is a holistic medical expert, scalar energy researcher, and humanitarian based in Florida. Scalar energy is the fundamental life force found everywhere in the world, space, and universe. It originates from the sun and stars. Chi, prana, om, mana, life force, pyramid energy, or zero-point energy are all synonym terms for scalar energy. Tom theorized that all energy in the universe initiates as scalar energy, and that the sun of our solar system and the stars of the universe are the points of origin, the storehouses, if you will, for scalar energy. He further theorized that scalar energy is instructive energy, as the entire universe is instructed by this divine essence. Subsequently, all spiritual, cognitive, emotional, and physical action in the universe is initiated and maintained by scalar energy instructions. Scalar energy provides order in our universe, or the universe. So I am excited to welcome Tom. Welcome. This is going to be a fascinating conversation.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Dr. Lara.
So I like to get started with the story of my guest. So how did you gravitate towards or end up being this expert in scalar energy?
Excellent question. I was always inquisitive. And as a youngster, I was studying Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was the first man to develop and perfect scalar energy instruments. What do I mean by that? Scalar energy is not electricity. It's a different type of energy. So it was Tesla that spurred me on as a youngster. I was fortunate enough to work with an American inventor by the name of Hieronymus. And that was really my path that I followed. I'll be the first to say that this is a new and upcoming science. It is quite different. But once people see the benefits to be derived, this is why I've spent a life at this. This offers such incredible promise to humanity. That's why I'm doing this.
So, sorry about that. Apparently there was a little technology glitch, and I'll edit this out later, but could you go back and start with what you said about Nikola Tesla, and then I'll edit it together?
Sure.
Thank you.
As a youngster, I studied Nikola Tesla. I was an avid reader. And when I realized that Tesla was working with scalar energy, I knew that was a technology that would change the world. It's free energy, doctor, plain and simple. Scalar energy is from the sun and the stars. And Tesla was able to tap into that free energy. And that's just one of the benefits to be derived. It will end our energy crisis. Well, I use this as far as a free energy in the realm, if you will, to provide quantum healing. So the potential is immense. Whether it's free energy, the potential could be quantum healing, the potential could be transportation, etc. There's so many ways to use this energy to benefit humanity.
Fascinating. So how do we harness this scalar energy?
With instruments, just like electricity. Consider 200 years ago when we can theorize that electricity was valid, but we never were able to harness it, or if we will, it was a very crude instrument. Well, today we have mastery over electricity. Now look what electricity has done for humanity. Consider 200 years ago, without electricity, now Consider the fact that just about everything is powered by electricity or a derivative thereof. Well, that's where I'm going with scalar energy. We have to develop instrumentation. We have to control this energy. We have to harness it. And once we can control it, harness it, then we'll see the benefits to be derived from scalar energy. And it's my estimation that the benefits of scalar energy far outweigh the benefits of electricity. We'll explore why.
Okay, cool. That sounds amazing. And so we can use this energy, you've sort of alluded to a little bit, but let's dive deeper into how we use it within the human body and to address stress, imbalance, disease. So how does that all work?
Yeah, thank you. So I've developed scalar energy instruments that will broadcast this energy. Now, before we get into that, I want to make sure that we have a firm understanding. This is the free energy of the sun and the stars. These are not chemicals. And this is a non-physical session. It's all done by way of information, what some people might call zero-point energy or scalar energy. So when I work with these instruments, I am broadcasting energy, information. And how does that work? Well, I'm able to tap into this star power, this sun power. So the power plant, now catch what I'm about to say, the power plant is from the sun and the stars. I don't have to create this energy, it pre-exists. So I literally have instruments that can capture that energy or that have the ability to broadcast that energy. So this is the free energy of the universe. Then in application, what am I doing with this energy? Well, I've discovered that scalar energy is responsible for physical forms. By that I mean scalar energy is the intelligence that holds together matter, an atom, a molecule. So with this intelligence, a scalar energy instrument, I can instruct the instrument to create, to assemble matter, such as vitamins, endorphins, hormones, enzymes. Now imagine, I can project quantum energy into a person or an animal, even a plant. And that energy, those instructions can start assembling nutrients inside a person, an animal, a plant, without any chemical, without the need for food, without the need for nutrition. Now, how does that work? It's intelligence. For instance, the human body is composed of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, all types of elements, even trace amounts.
Mm-hmm.
And with those existing elements and proteins, scalar energy will rearrange, that's the key, transmute, rearrange the elements, the proteins, into micronutrients. So your body becomes a factory for nutrients. The instructions that I send into your body, the scalar energy instructions that I send into your body, rearrange elements into nutrients.
So I am assuming, just based on my own background in energy work and Reiki and quantum physics and a little bit of physics too, that this is also based on intention.
Yes, it is based on intention.
Okay.
But keep in mind, on account of the fact that I have an instrument, the instrument carries out the intention.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right. Intention are instructions, instructions are intelligence, etc. So you're right. You hit the nail on the head. So scalar energy is intention. It's instruction. It's consciousness. So let me really underscore this. We're not working with physical matter. Everything I do is non-physical. It's instructions, consciousness, energy. And with that non-physical instruction, I can assemble matter. I can assemble a nutrient. Now, what is peculiar about a scalar energy instrument, once you work in this paradigm of quantum energy or consciousness, it's non-local. It's everywhere. Now, what do I mean by that? The fact that you do not have to be present means that I can work with a person, an animal, or plant at a distance. How do I do that? I have photographs of people, animals, and plants. And I take those photographs of people, animals, and plants, and I place them inside my instrument. And in so doing, I'm able to assemble nutrients through the quantum realm by way of a photograph of a person. Now, in explanation, a photograph is a source of light. And if you and I can have a conversation at a distance, and we can exchange thoughts, we can speak at a distance through this connection, telephonically, then likewise, a photograph is a source of energy or instructions, and I can communicate at a distance through a person's photograph. Photograph of a person, photograph of a plant, an animal. So it's so exciting, this new science in which nobody ever arrives, nobody ever travels to my laboratory. People email a photograph to me. This is the quantum realm in which your photograph is your bilocated version. It's your energetic copy. So when I work with a photograph, an energetic copy, all action is non-physical. Obviously, you're not in my laboratory, your photograph is. So your photograph assumes the instruction. Your photograph is instructed. Your photograph receives the intelligence, the intention, use your word, the intention. This is the new science of scalar energy, in which scalar energy is everywhere, and the information, hence, is everywhere. And hence, your photograph can connect your quantum field everywhere, anywhere, anytime.
This is fascinating. So how much does the higher self or the soul self, or, does that come into play here at all?
Yes. People who want to feel well, people who want to accept the healing, usually we see an accelerated healing. So intention, once again, plays a part of this. Nonetheless, I've worked with animals. I don't think animals are aware of my scalar energy instructions, but nonetheless, and not to be snide, sometimes animals respond quite favorably because they're not complicated and they accept the intention, they accept the healing. So again, this is a new science. So much needs to be studied and learned. But I will say that people who have the right intention, who have a favorable lifestyle, they seem to have a speedy recovery, or they seem to experience this in a significant fashion, as opposed to those who are doubtful or really are not mindful of their health.
So how does it go about balancing our chakras and our meridian points?
Okay, another excellent question. So everybody has meridian points, chakras. I've come to the conclusion that our chakras are composed of scalar energy. They spin. Many people have theorized and many people have photographed spinning chakras. Why? Well, scalar energy spins. So a chakra, a meridian point, is a scalar energy point. It's a spinning vortex, a spinning vortex. And the best way to realign our chakras and our brain waves is with a chakra instrument or a scalar energy instrument. So what am I getting at? Our chakras are scalar vortices, and the best way to realign those is with a scalar energy instrument that will likewise interface with those non-physical vortices, those non-physical points of light. And this really stands to reason, because if scalar energy is intention, then chakras are what? Carrying out consciousness. They are instructive. You can use your intention to download into your chakra. I have found that the best way to access our chakras or our brain waves is with scalar energy, not electricity. Chakras and brain waves are scalar energy and composition. So why not use a scalar energy instrument to access your chakras and your brain waves?
I like that you brought in brainwaves too. I'm a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And so, of course, he talks a lot about the brainwaves and how, getting into different states, whether it's alpha, beta, or theta, or, even deep delta can really help us guide changing our future, manifesting our future, changing who we are into who we want to be. So this is fascinating that this so you're saying scalar energy is the brainwave also?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's understand this. What's a brainwave? How do we think? How do we compute? How is it we can understand mathematical equations? Why is it that some people have a mastery over language? Why is it that some people are very creative or some people have an incredible memory? Those are all scalar energy events. Those are all scalar energy characteristics. So the greater memory that you have, that's a sign that you have a scalar energy gift that you can remember. It's innate. It's the energy that allows you to remember, to have incredible memory. Our brain waves are scalar. They're creative scalar waves. We can create because we receive that afflatus, that intention, that instruction from scalar energy. And if this is correct, if my theory is correct, then we all have the ability to be super geniuses. We are. We just have to unlock our scalar brain.
Mm-hmm. So I want to turn it back towards, okay, so someone sends you a photograph either of themselves, a loved one, or a pet, and does the chakra balancing happen through the process of, or is it like if they have an intention to, like, say, like heal a specific organ system or ailment that they have, are those two separate things, or does it become one and the same through the process?
I think it becomes one and the same through the process.
Okay.
Let me explain in this analogy. If you walk out in the sun, it's a sunny day, warm day. Well, simply by consequence that you're out in sunlight, you're going to feel the warmth of the sun. You're going to feel the heat of the sun. Well, keep in mind, my instrument is a sun instrument. I'm tapping into sun energy. And literally, when I place a person's photograph in a scalar energy instrument, immediately their brain waves are accessed. Immediately their chakras are accessed. So it's just by virtue of the fact that this is automatic, this is natural, scalar attracts scalar. The chakra balancing is immediate. Frankly, I don't need to in any way coax the system. I don't in any way need to guide the system. Scalar energy will automatically download into the brain waves in the 7 chakras. Now, how people respond to that, their intention, their mood, their disposition, that's simple of a different character. But I have worked sometimes with infants, and the infant would achieve a very deep sleep pattern after I worked with a photograph of a baby, of an infant. Well, obviously, I did not have a theoretical discussion with the infant about how the chakras are going to be balanced by a scalar energy chakra instrument. My point being is, yes, intention always plays a part. Our activity and our willingness to accept this intention and these instructions, this divine energy, that always plays a part. But keep in mind that if scalar energy is everywhere, and if I have a scalar energy instrument, I can access through a person's photograph, I can access their chakras and their brain waves. In many ways, guaranteeing some type of advantageous result. Some type of positive influence will be imparted by a scalar energy instrument upon the brain and the chakras. It's automatic. Why? It's not me, it's the energy. If you have pure divine energy, you're going to have a favorable experience with your brain, your mind, and your chakras.
Fascinating. Okay. So how then does scalar energy negate or transmute or transform things such as viruses, bacteria, fungal infections, those sorts of things?
Let's take the example of the herpes virus.
Okay.
Let's say there's hydrogen bonds that hold together its genome. Okay? Those hydrogen bonds are held together or instructed by scalar energy. So the very genome of a virus or a bacterium, the very makeup of any microorganism is scalar intelligence. Scalar energy instructs a microorganism to assemble and to have some type of coherence, some type of a pattern, geometric pattern, molecular pattern. With the instruments that Dr. Hieronymus and I have devised, we're able to break down, negate the molecular bonds or the molecular intelligence of a microbe, a virus, a bacterium, or fungus. So when we negate a molecular bond, the microbe falls apart into smaller particles, elements, and proteins. So you might have the herpes virus, which is an organized system. When we negate the molecular bonds through scalar intelligence, the herpes virus falls apart to elements, proteins, which are harmless, which are actually beneficial. So this is a sublime process. It's non-chemical, it's non-physical. We send energy instructions into the quantum body. It's not the physical body, into the quantum body. But through those instructions, we instruct the herpes virus to transmute, to fragment, to break down into smaller particles. In other words, the herpes virus ceases to exist. If a virus ceases to exist, there you have it. You're no longer infected with that virus.
That's amazing. So what about something like diabetes?
I don't have any expertise with diabetes.
I was just thinking, like, from my perspective, like virus, bacteria, and fungi are very discrete organisms, if you will. And so, diabetes is more of like a systemic imbalance that's caused by what we put into our body, which is, or part of our environment. And so can this scalar energy be used to help like change behaviors or reverse diseases that are sort of, this might sound harsh to those out there that are suffering with diabetes, but it's really self-created. It's human created. It's created by, again, what we've eaten and what we've put into our body. So it's entirely preventable and reversible. But how does scalar energy have a benefit there as well, you think?
In a marginal sense, yes.
Marginal sense, okay.
I've developed a technique in which I can actually take a photograph of a microbe and instruct the instrument to destroy that microbe, because I can photograph a germ, a microbe. But you cannot photograph diabetes.
Right.
Now, how can I help? Well, some people think that the pancreas is assaulted by pathogens, viruses, and bacteria, causing pancreatic organ failure, organ dysfunction. So some people have been able to help in that regard. To reverse diabetes, no, I cannot do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that scalar energy could be the tool in the future? Well, yes, in one way, because we might be able to regrow eventually organs, pancreatic tissue. Why? It's instructions, right? Everything involves an instruction. So eventually you should be able to instruct an organ to regrow. That's my hope with scalar energy.
Oh, that's really cool. And I'm also thinking, like our habits are caused by our, emotions and our thoughts, and our, thoughts and our experiences leave energetic imprints upon us. So if we sent you a picture with the intention of rebalancing and transmuting maybe even trauma, does that have a place within the scalar energy approach?
It has to, yes, because
Yeah.
every information, it has to answer your
Yeah.
question. So
Okay.
our disposition, I'll speak about myself. Today I got up in a good mood. I'm usually in a good mood and I have goals and I've already accomplished a number of my goals and it's still early in the morning. So life really boils down to your disposition. If you want to see the rightful intention, you want to heal, you become part of that healing process. And it's your attitude, it's your intention, and it's your action that will lead to that healing process. So, answer your question, yes. Your disposition while I'm working with you, and whatever photograph you submit to me, people email me photographs, obviously. That photograph always, I want to make this clear, captures your exact real-time essence. In other words, I have a photograph of my instrument right now while we speak. The instrument is operating. And that photograph of me, even though it might be 5 years old, reports my constitution right now, in the immediate now. So everything in the scalar energy environment is real time. It transcends time and space. So to answer your question, your disposition right now, in the immediate moment, is what that instrument is interfacing with.
Okay, I was going to ask that. Does it matter if the picture, like you said, is 5 years old or current?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because
Okay.
scalar is always in the present moment. See, again, this is not electricity or magnetism. Electricity is subject to time. The electromagnetic spectrum recognizes time. Scalar energy is outside of time. There is no time. There's only the present moment in the scalar energy force field.
This is fascinating. Okay, wow. So are you in the position where or do you have aspirations of teaching others about doing this, or is this still like you're in development with this instrument and that sort of thing?
I want to teach the world. That's the point of our discussion today, is to get the word out. So thank you for this opportunity. Yes, I want to teach the world. I'm an open book. But there's a few impediments. My laboratory is a mess. This is not easy. These are sophisticated instruments, engineered to the T. So it's not as if I'm going to be in the manufacturing business. I'm not. I don't want to manufacture instruments. Secondly, we probably need a central location to learn. Now, once we develop that central location, it's going to be a campus, okay? But there's some expenses incurred if there's going to be a central location. And then, most importantly, you have to find people who want to spend a lifetime at this. This is a career. This is not my hobby. I've been at this for 50 years. And in order to really understand and to grasp this science, you have to spend the time. Now, whether that's really a function of how much time people have to spend. But nonetheless, we'll address this moving forward. Long story short, yes, I want this out there. Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Yes, see the benefits that can be derived from these instruments immediately. You know, the fact that people can send me a photograph and after I work with them, they say they no longer have any symptoms of herpes. Look at our website, read the 4,000 testimonies. This is the mounting evidence. This is the new science with the new body of evidence. Yes, I want the world to get involved with this. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. So where do I want to go from here? This is so fast. I'm so excited for all this potential. Where do you see the next steps for spreading the information and reaching as many people as possible?
Grassroots, Doctor. Grassroots. Why? There's no politics. There's no nonsense. I'm a grassroots type of guy. I'm easygoing, but I'm not going to put up with nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to work with the people, and the people have been wonderful. We have a wonderful world with wonderful people who have a meaningful intent, who want to see the world advance. I'm going to keep this away from the corruption, to be blunt. I'm going to keep the corruption from so many governments, so many businesses, so many institutions, so many universities that are not, that don't have their hearts in the right place, that are not, have rightful intention. I don't want a hidden agenda. I have no hidden agenda. I'm a humanitarian, I'm a Christian, I want to help.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the amazing implications, like autoimmune, like people that really suffer with all these, you know, the things that are so hard for Western medicine to diagnose just because Western medicine is so limited. Um, you know, they have a wonderful place in our world with life-saving surgeries and preventing people of dying from massive trauma a lot of the time. But in terms of, approaching other things, Western medicine just still has a lot to learn and to grow. And so it's the implications of this scalar light technology are really fascinating. It seems like the sky is the limit. And I'll say one of the things that I really like to do, one of my morning meditations that I love, is getting up and meditating and bringing in the sunlight into my energetic field and into my body. And is that also something that you would recommend people doing, like really communing with the light of the sun?
Of course. That's why God created the sun and the stars. We have to work hand in hand with nature. So you see where I'm going with this. This is 100% natural. I don't disparage certain types of medical procedures. Keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional. I'm a scalar energy researcher. This is a new science in which we are in communion with nature, with the sun and the stars. All of my work is non-physical. I've never worked with a chemical or surgery in my life. So this is another way of looking at quantum health, non-physical informational health. And yes, it works. Ask the, well, I don't know, we've already worked with 100 million people around the world. Ask the 100 million people around the world, why do they feel better? It works.
Yeah. So my next question is do they have to come back for tune-ups? So is this something that you help them, there's balance restored to their physical body, to their emotional body, to their mental health? Is there something that we need to do along the way to maintain that? Or is there, reverting is possible? I don't know.
Some people come back for a tune-up, so to speak. Some people just say, no, we'll try your 15-day trial, and that's all they want, the 15-day free experience. It's up to people. And this is why, I like my work. There's no long-standing commitment. People can try it. If it's for them, then they can continue. There's no requirement. And, I don't think there's any negative side effect, obviously, if you don't want to do it initially, or if you don't want to continue doing it. So what am I getting? There's no dependency here. You don't become dependent upon anything here. You don't become allergic to this process. It's non-physical. There's no dependency. It won't adversely affect your mental or physical health because it's instructions. Bottom line, there's no negative consequences. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it really is. And so how will people know how many visits or how long they want to work with you? Is that based on their intuition or do you make a recommendation or?
We leave it entirely up to people. Now,
okay.
I never meet people. I don't work with people. I work with their photograph. With that in mind, I have to rely upon people's reaction and how they feel. This is, again, the new science in which we work at a distance. Everything is done by way of a person's quantum field, their photograph. So I'm subject to their decision. I'm subject to their response. By all means, I value their input. And that's so important. With this new science, it's the people who speak. There are no clinical trials. Why? Nobody has a scalar energy instrument. Do I have peer-reviewed papers? No, I have no peer. So it's all groundbreaking. We have to rely upon the feedback of people. And then we put the people in the driver's seat. And the people decide how long they want to be treated, how long they want their photographs to remain with us.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Well, what else have we not covered that you want to bring light to?
Yeah, let's just go back really quickly, 120, 130 years ago. Nikola Tesla had free energy instruments, scalar energy instruments. He built a scalar energy tower in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and he then built another free energy tower in Long Island, New York. And by harnessing the energy of the sun and the stars, Tesla was able to demonstrate free energy. He was able to illuminate light bulbs at a distance with these free energy towers. Now, what do I propose to mankind? Well, we have an energy crisis in which there's a shortage of oil and gas, there's a shortage of coal, there's a shortage of electricity. With this new paradigm, doctor, there's no shortage of stars. There is an unlimited energy pool of star energy, sun energy, scalar energy. This is what Tesla saw. This is what he envisioned. So in the future, we will power this world through sun energy, star energy. Eventually, we will not have these problems. Scalar energy will solve the energy crisis. It's something for the audience to meditate on.
Yes. I mean, what a wonderful thought. I immediately go to the conspiracy theory place of, will the powers that be let it be that way? But I think we're all evolving towards a more supportive, balanced, cohesive, co-creating way of living. I mean, it might feel like slow going at times, but I do feel like there are things shifting on our planet and how we all work together. I definitely think that for sure.
Thank you. You see the big picture. This is a paradigm shift. This is a new way of living. It's an energy spectrum. It's an energy dimension that will solve our problems. I'm all about performance, doctor. I solve problems. I'm not a talker. I'm a doer. Scalar energy solves problems.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm just scrolling through your blog here, and would it be redundant if I asked about how the scalar energy can affect autism?
Yeah, no. I have marginal effects with autism. Now, when I receive a photograph of a person that has autism, what I've noticed is the chakra balancing will calm that person. Scalar energy sending instructions into the brain, the mind, and the chakras seems to calm a person with autism. It doesn't cure, it doesn't correct, but it seems to have a calming effect. And this is what leads me to conclude that autism is probably some type of chakra imbalance. Some type of chakra imbalance.
Yeah. So interesting. I love it. All right. So where do you want to go from here?
If this interests the audience, what I consider the next step is go to my website, scalarlight.com, and email us your photograph. Now, in order for you to have a broader understanding and a perspective as to what we're doing, you can send us photographs of your family members. Have their permission, but you can send us photographs of family members and include your pets. Now, many people judge the efficacy not only by how they feel, but how their dog or cat feels. Now, keep in mind that if we work with you for free for 15 days and we see a favorable outcome, your dog and your cat have a favorable outcome, well, then that's a pretty good indication that this is working, because dogs and cats haven't the slightest idea what we're doing. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of your dogs or cats have ever read a blog on my website.
No.
Enjoy the humor. The point being is, We've had such great success with people around the world. And mark my word, we've worked with 100 million people around the world by way of photographs. Sometimes I receive photographs from clinics, like HIV clinics, 200 photographs a day. Collages of people, or churches, or sometimes Christian ministers send us photographs of entire towns. Now, after working with people around the world and having so many favorable experiences, thousands of testimonies, now we're to the point that we know that this works. We realize that someday this will be a quantum global healing ministry. How do we get the word out? By word of mouth. I'll be quite candid. Social media has not been kind. Social media does not want free energy. Let me just state it. Social media, this is free energy of the sun and the stars. You can call it free quantum healing, call it what you will. It's free energy. It's scalar energy is always free from the sun and the stars. So how do we get the word out? By podcast, word of mouth, people. You can't stop word of mouth. You can't manipulate it. People do not have an ulterior agenda. And they don't have a motive, except they just want to help themselves and see the world prosper. So,
yeah, I think that's what we all want. It's especially, in this time and age where there is so much upheaval and conflict. I think we're all looking forward to peace, balance, health, wellness, happiness for everyone on the planet. And, it might sound a little, far-fetched, but I think it's possible. And like I said, I think globally there is a shift, and we are moving in that direction where there's more of a cooperative component instead of it all being competitive, I guess is like the most benign way to put it.
Yes. Now, what am I getting at with free energy? The world will finally benefit. We will not be encumbered by this expensive energy grid, this inefficient energy grid. This will save the world trillions of dollars. It does not pollute. Free energy, there's no carbon footprint. Why? It's not a chemical. So if you really want to save the environment, you can do it through scalar energy. There's no pollutants.
Yeah.
There's no pollutants.
It's fascinating.
Yes, it is.
So everyone go over to scalarlight.com/free trials. And I'll put this link in the show description and in the show notes. The show notes are on my website at drlaramay.com/podcasts. Wherever this show airs, so whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the wonderful places, this link will be in the description. So you should be able to get the link wherever you're listening to this episode. And I am so excited to have finally connected with you, Tom. I think I actually came across your work several years ago as part of a summit that you were on. So when I saw your name come through my email, I was really excited.
And I thank you for reaching out to me. I'm going to mention one more thing to your audience.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
And I want everybody to remember this, because this will go down in history. We're working with an HIV clinic in Delhi, India. Om Prakash HIV clinic in Delhi, India. I've received photographs of 5,000 people who were HIV positive at the clinic. After working with those 5,000 people by way of their photograph, nobody has HIV. Nobody has a viral load. Those 5,000 people, if they've had a follow-up PCR test, there's no viral load.
That's amazing and wonderful. So also, just for everyone's reference too, on scalarlight.com/blog, there's an article, and it shows the test results of the no viral load. So there's, if you wanted to actually look at the article that's on the website to see more about this, and I can link that as well.
Please do so. So we have PCR test results on our website, and this is from people that submitted their photograph. Now, I have no influence over the laboratory. Whatever laboratory they use to conduct these PCR tests, I have no influence. There's no way I can in any way change the outcome. And the outcome is this: after we work with people, whether it's herpes, Epstein-Barr, HIV virus, if people have a follow-up PCR test, let's say 2-3 months are allowed, so that we see that these fragmented viruses, the viral particles, leave the body. All of those test results are undetectable for herpes, HIV, Epstein-Barr, etc. So look at the website. The proof is there, mounting scientific proof, and then we have to allow the world to decipher that proof. It's proof, but what will people make of that? How will they interpret that? Are those scientific tests valid? Yes. Is that proof? Yes. What's the conclusion? That's up to people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, thank you again so much. And again, the website is scalarlight.com, scalarlight.com/free trials. And that's a 15-day trial, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody in the world, don't be bashful. Just send us a bus shot, just your headshot. That's all we need. And then you judge. Again, the world is in the driver's seat. The world must judge this. There is no scientific committee. My instruments are unique. This has never been done before, with the exception of my predecessor, Hieronymus. So this is a new process, and this new process needs to be deciphered, to be discerned, properly discerned.
Yes. Well, yeah, so definitely check it out. What do you have to lose? And then once, you have your experience, spread the word. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if there's nothing else, then we'll leave it there.
Thanks for your time. And to the audience, try our 15-day free session. You decide the merit. God bless.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And we'll catch you on the next episode.